Hi ladies, welcome back to Healthwise for Seniors, the channel where timeless elegance and confidence after 60 take center stage. I'm so glad you're here. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you wore an outfit that made you feel like you again? Not younger, not thinner, just more seen. Because today's video is not about trends or how to dress like someone you're not. It's about those quiet, powerful outfit choices that whisper, I still matter. And trust me, he notices. Now, maybe you're thinking, really, a satin midi dress, a soft blouse for brunch, at my age? Or perhaps, I haven't worn heels in years, why start now? Well, that's exactly why we're having this conversation. Because sometimes, the outfit that brings you back to yourself isn't glamorous or loud. It's subtle, thoughtful. It fits your life now, but honors the woman you've always been. And as we'll see, when you dress with intention, something shifts in how you walk, how he looks at you, and more importantly, how you begin to look at yourself again. So stay with me. We're diving into 3 beautiful, wearable outfits for summer 2025, curated especially for women over 60 who are ready to feel elegant, seen, and softly powerful again. Yellow heart before we begin, don't forget to like this video, share it with a friend, and hit that subscribe button. It helps our channel grow and tells YouTube that you believe in graceful aging too. Now, let's begin with the outfit that changed everything for Linda. Linda never expected a dress to change anything. She was 63, long past chasing trends or trying to impress anyone. Most days, her wardrobe consisted of jeans, neutral tees, and comfortable flats, not because she didn't care, but because she'd slowly stopped believing that how she dressed mattered anymore. But something shifted one quiet Sunday morning. As she folded laundry in silence, she caught a glimpse of herself in the mirror, not critically, but curiously. She didn't look tired or unhappy, she just didn't look like herself. Not the woman her husband used to dance with on jazz nights in New Orleans. Not the woman who used to laugh with her whole face. And certainly, not the woman who used to walk into a room and light it up with nothing but a soft smile and a flowing dress. That afternoon, Linda stepped out wearing a rose-colored satin midi dress she had bought months ago and never dared to wear. It draped gracefully along her figure, not tight, not stiff, just fluid and soft, like it was made for a slower kind of beauty. Over her shoulders, she threw on a white lightweight cardigan, the kind that doesn't cover you up but simply completes you. On her feet, nude strappy sandals with a delicate heel, low enough to feel grounded, high enough to remind her she was still a woman who could turn ahead. And turn one she did. Her husband, sitting at the kitchen counter reading the Sunday paper, looked up, but instead of his usual distracted glance, he looked again. Slower, softer. You look like you did the first time I saw you walking into that cafe, he said. She smiled, not because he remembered, but because she had finally remembered too. You see, after 60, dressing up isn't about looking younger. It's not about outshining anyone or trying to fit back into a version of yourself from decades ago. It's about re-entering your own narrative. A satin midi dress flows with your body. It doesn't fight it. It catches the light in all the right places, your collarbone, the sway of your hips, the small of your back, not to flaunt, but to honor. The cardigan softens the look, adds a touch of comfort and class. It says, I'm relaxed, but I'm intentional. And the sandals, they don't scream elegance, they whisper it. They say, she's lived, she's loved, and she still walks like she has stories left to write. When women over 60 choose to dress beautifully, it's not for attention. It's for connection with themselves, with their history. Karen, 66, hadn't planned anything extravagant. It was just brunch, the kind of Sunday tradition she and her husband had kept for years. But that morning, she chose differently. She didn't reach for the usual sweater and jeans. Instead, she opened her wardrobe with a little more curiosity and a quiet sense of self returning. She slipped into a white puff-sleeve blouse, one that brushed her shoulders just enough to soften the frame of her arms. It wasn't tight, it wasn't flashy, but there was something about the structure of the sleeves and the slight dip of the neckline that made her feel instantly lighter. Then came the flowy wide-leg trousers in olive green, a soft, breathable tencel that moved when she did, without clinging to a single inch. The waistband sat comfortably, the length just kissed the top of her ankles, revealing a pair of beige kitten heels that added just enough lift to change her posture. She stood taller, not because of the heels, but because of the way the outfit made her feel, deliberate, but never forced. She reached for her pearl stud earrings, those same ones she wore to her daughter's wedding. Simple, round, and quietly timeless. Then grabbed a structured cream-colored handbag, and before heading out, glanced in the mirror. For the first time in a long while, she didn't sigh, adjust, or second-guess. When they sat at the cafe by the glass window, sunlight danced across the table, catching her blouse like it had something to say. Her husband looked up from his menu, smiled faintly, and said, "You look like you're going somewhere more special than brunch." She smiled back, "Maybe I am. That's what this outfit does. It doesn't scream luxury, it doesn't demand attention, but it tells the world, and more importantly, tells you that you still care about how you feel in your own skin. Because true elegance after 60 isn't about high fashion. It's about subtle intention. A puff-sleeve blouse brings softness to the upper body, especially for women who feel self-conscious about arms or posture. Wide-leg pants skim rather than squeeze, offering both comfort and grace. Kitten heels lengthen the leg without straining the back or knees. And pearl studs, they're not trying to compete, they're reminding you of everything classic that still belongs to you. And in a world where most people rush, scroll, and overlook, a woman over 60, sitting still in her own softness, sipping coffee in satin-light fabrics becomes unforgettable. She's not trying to relive her youth. She's redefining what presence looks like. And she's not dressing for brunch. She's dressing for the version of herself that Some outfits don't need to turn heads, they just need to turn your own gaze inward, gently reminding you, I still matter. Susan, 64, wasn't dressing for anyone that day. No brunch plans, no errands. Just a quiet Saturday morning, coffee brewing, soft music in the background. But she felt something stir, not urgency, not pressure, but a quiet call for tenderness. For herself. She pulled on a simple white V-neck tee, soft and worn in all the right ways, but fitted just enough to hint at her silhouette. She tucked it into a pair of straight-leg white jeans, not tight, not baggy, but structured. The kind of pants that don't hide you, but don't scream for attention either. Then came the details. A delicate silk scarf, tied loosely at the neck, printed with tiny florals that made her smile. Gold stud earrings, small but warm. A pair of nude leather loafers that whispered comfort with every step. She added a spritz of her favorite citrus perfume, the one she wore on her first trip to Italy. Not because anyone would notice, but because she would. She glanced in the mirror. Nothing dramatic. No high heels, no makeup, no performance. Just her, calm, considered, and quietly radiant. That's what casual looks like when you know how to love yourself. It's not about dressing up to feel worthy. It's about dressing with care, even when no one's watching, especially when no one's watching. Because after 60, the deepest confidence comes not from being seen, but from seeing yourself and liking what you see. A crisp white tee and white jeans on a woman over 60 is bolder than red lipstick on a 25-year-old, not because it's loud, but because it's clean, clear, and unapologetic. The scarf, that's a story. The earrings, a quiet reminder that you are your own muse now. And the loafers, they don't take you far, they keep you grounded. This isn't fashion for applause. It's for the mornings you decide, I deserve softness today. It's for the women who realize, loving yourself is not something you do after you've impressed everyone else. It's what you do first, so that everything else and everyone else before she wore what was easy, what was safe. A loose t-shirt, faded jeans, sneakers with no real shape. Not because she didn't care, but because somewhere along the way, she began to believe she didn't need to be seen anymore. She told herself, I'm just running errands. It's just coffee. He's seen me in every way, why bother? And on the surface, nothing seemed wrong. But when she looked in the mirror, something was missing, not youth, not perfection, but presence. Then one day, she chose differently. She swapped the oversized tee for a satin midi dress that moved with her. The sneakers became kitten heels, gentle on her steps but bold in their quiet elegance. She let go of the baggy denim and chose structured pants that held their shape and gave hers back. She replaced the good enough cardigan with one that framed her shoulders like a soft embrace. She added pearl studs, tied a scarf. Not for anyone else, just to feel whole again. After, she didn't look younger, she looked complete. She stood straighter, walked slower, smiled more not at others but at her own reflection. Because when you dress with love, not obligation, not disguise, but love, you don't just change your outfit. You return to the woman inside it. And suddenly, others see her too. Maybe even someone who hasn't really looked at you in years. Looks twice, so here's what I hope you take away today. That elegance after 60 isn't something you lose. It's something you reclaim. It's not about trying to look like your 30-year-old self. It's about becoming the most powerful version of who you are now. The woman who's lived, loved, lost, learned, and still knows how to walk into a room not to impress, but to feel whole in her own skin. Because when you dress with softness, with intention, with a little bit of light in your eyes, people notice. He notices, but more importantly, you do. So whether it's a flowing satin dress, a crisp brunch blouse, or a pair of kitten heels that brings you home to yourself, wear it. Not for the world, but for the quiet voice inside you that says, "This is who I still am." Yellow heart, if today's video spoke to you, please give it a thumbs up. Share it with a friend who might need a little reminder too. And don't forget to subscribe to Healthwise for Seniors for more graceful, stylish inspiration every week. And now, before you go, I want to ask you one thing. What was the last outfit that made you feel truly seen? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. Until next time, take care of yourself with style, with softness, and with